Ever wondered what it'd be like living life as a dinosaur? Well, now you can find out in Path of Titans. As you can see, my Allosaurus is digging at a burrow to try and let out a creature for me to go and hunt. Turns out being a carnivore in prehistoric times is actually a lot more difficult than you would expect. Path of Titans is an absolute huge game, and it does actually have a native client for Linux, so this does actually run very well on the Steam Deck with a couple of tweaks, as that Linux native implementation doesn't run straight out of the box, though it is very close, and it does have easy anti-cheat, which does cause a hiccup every now and then, but more on that in a second. First off, let's have a look at the settings that I'm running here. Best settings I found was actually to put the FPS limit down to 60, although it doesn't make a huge difference, and put everything on medium settings with the anti-aliasing on TAA. Other than that, it does run at 30 to 40 frames per second, even with quite a lot going on without much issues. Now there's 3 different modes here which are worth calling out. The first one being the multiplayer, which will drop you into a random multiplayer match. This does work very well, but each of these modes all carry the same kind of issue. The very first time in, pretty much all of the time, I'm not sure whether this has always been the first time into a specific server or just the first time joining a server per startup, but you will at some point get kicked with an unknown easy anti-cheat error, our favorite. Fortunately, if you just go straight back in, it will work just fine. So it just seems to be that first time there's a bit of a hiccup with the anti-cheat, but beyond that it works fine. And I've played on quite a few of these servers for an hour to 2 hours at a time without getting any easy anti-cheat errors at all. So the name of the game is pretty much the same across the board. You come in, you pick one of your dinosaur, decorate it to your heart's content, give it a funny name, and actually the random name generator is very good, I think, at picking names compared to what you've actually created, and join the game. Now, one thing to note is nighttime is really nighttime. It's really hard to see what's going on at night. So being a baby carnivore in the middle of the night was a lot of rummaging around in the dark, hoping to find my right direction. So not a great amount to see in the night, so I'll move this to some lighter play. And you can see those frames per second sitting around 30 to 40 depending on where it is, but it does look absolutely gorgeous. You have these home caves, which are safe areas, and you can decorate these and also level up your abilities. So you do need to look out for these on the map. You'll notice on the right we have quests. They have local quests as well as main quests, and most of these are time boxed. So if you just start running across the map, you don't really get a lot of points, and you need to complete these quests to not only grow your dinosaur but also to get those abilities. Now single player, there is loads of options to choose from. You can really customize your game here. You can even turn growth off, so you can just either have babies all the time or have adults. You can make sure that you don't have the full damage and some other bits and pieces. Full damage is really harsh in this game. So lots of options to be able to customize your game. There's also a huge amount of community servers and already quite a few modded servers as well. There's 26 playable dinos with 3 subspecies each, and all of the dinosaurs have 5 stages of growth. So really is quite an in-depth game here. So many dinosaurs to choose from if you go with the main pack, and loads of options for customization as well, with more than 100,000 variations of skins. And each of these dinosaurs with species-specific trees, there's over 70 abilities across the board, so it really is a lot. The other thing to note, first map, Pandora, is 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers. So it really is a lot of running around, so you do want to make sure you concentrate on those local quests. Even though I had often up to 100 players in a server, it's that big that I would run around for a good hour a lot of the time without seeing another player. But you'll notice in the chat that there's lots of friendly people, and generally people hook up on the carnivore or herbivore fronts to go round as a group. Now I did find it a bit easier as a carnivore. So how to get this installed? First off, you'll need to go to olderongames.com and download the launcher. You'll notice that there's 2 here for Linux, but you want the Linux app image. Download this in desktop mode and then run this file. This will run the launcher, and you'll be able to buy and install the game from here after creating your Olderon Games account if you haven't already. But once this is installed, don't run it from the launcher because it will not work, which is a bit of a shame because it would be all in one then. Instead, hit the settings button to the right of the play button, go to show in Explorer and find the Path of Titans folder, Linux no editor, Path of Titans, binaries, and then Linux. So make note of where this is. If you've got the plugin installed, you can just right click the Path of Titans Linux shipping file and hit add to Steam. If you don't have that plugin installed, then you will need to go to the Steam library, add a game, add a non-Steam game, and then browse to the location of that Path of Titans Linux shipping file. And make sure when you get to the location that you switch the file type to all files, and then select and add the Path of Titans Linux shipping file to Steam. Now you can either run this directly from desktop mode or switch to game mode as you saw me play before. Because this is a native Linux file, you don't need any compatibility options, and by default I was just using the standard controller mapping. So there you have it, that's how to run Path of Titans on Steam Deck. And now you can run around as any of those species of dinosaur to your heart's content. Be warned, if you do get into PvP, it does have locational PvP damage with visual feedback as well. So if people have been attacking just your tail, for example, then just your tail will be bleeding. There is so much to this game, and I hope to spend a bit more time with it, as you do lose yourself in the quests, trying to grow your dinosaur. There is a great refer a friend program for additional benefits for both you and the person that you refer, so drop those referral links in the comments below as they're only valid for up to 6 people, so if you all want to get those benefits you'll need to regularly share a new code. Let us know in the comments below if you're going to be diving into Path of Titans, and hopefully we'll see you in one of the maps very soon. I'll leave you with a bit more of the gameplay here without me talking so you can get a better feel for the game and performance. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.